Open your mouth. Spread your legs. Clear. Let's go. What up, what up? You already know what it is. Your boy Pistol Pete. Welcome back to Dog in the Yard. Today we got Will Steele from the Bronx. Will Steele went to jail for a body. Did 17 years. Been in and out of prison since childhood, Sparford, name it. He's been all over the place. Today he has changed his life. And he's here with us, man. And with that being said, let's get right to it. You already know your boy Pistol Pete, Dog in the Yard. Will Steele. What up, what up? You already know what it is. Your boy Pistol Pete. Welcome back to Dog in the Yard. Today we got Will Steele in the building, straight from the Bronx. What up, Steele? How you
Peace,
been?
my brother. How you doing,
Peace,
man?
my brother. What's
Thank
up?
you for having me, man. Very excited, very excited.
Appreciate having you
the
too, man.
opportunity, my brother.
That's what it is, man.
Good talk.
What's up, man? How you been, bro?
Feeling great, man. It's been home for about 4 years now. Just
Okay.
been ripping and running, man, doing the right thing. Really, really being a beacon of light and hope for our youth, B. Wow.
Love that. I love that talk.
Appreciate that, King.
So for those that Will's from the Bronx. How much time you did, Will?
I did a total of 21 years in and out of these institutions, unfortunately.
21 years. Back and forth.
Back and forth. My first arrest, I was probably about 13 years old, for a gang assault, actually.
Okay.
After that, man, it just
Kept
continued to progress. It went from gang assault to drug charges to gun charges and then ultimately murder.
All right, so we're going to get into that. Give us a little bit of breakdown about, I know you're from the Bronx. Where in the Bronx, siblings, your upbringing, and what led you to, get in trouble, and at what age you started,
All right. So my name is William Steele. I'm from the Bronx. I'm from Throggs Neck Projects. Yeah, man, it was crazy out there. So yeah, my introduction to the streets. Grew up in a two-parent household, 5 siblings.
Okay.
My pop's only one, bringing the bread home. Mom on welfare, doing the best that she can. And yeah, being the middle child, man, I felt like I needed some attention. My dad was always at work. He did the best that he can. Really, really hard-working man, honest working man. And just the law of the streets, man. I remember my mom just telling me, Will, take out the garbage. And just going to take out the garbage, being in the lobby of my building, 10, 15 dudes playing dice. The moment I come in the lobby, the older brothers grab me up, want me to shoot the dice, started teaching me how to win money, started betting on my hand. Next thing you know, I'm winning. My mom's got to come to the lobby, grab me up, take me back in the house. And that was the beginning to the streets right there. That was my introduction, man.
That was the introduction right there.
For real.
And you was what, 13?
Nah, that probably happened. I probably had to be about 5, 6 years old, man.
Okay.
Just mom telling you to take out the garbage, going to the incinerator in the projects. Bunch of dudes in the lobby. I had a really popular building in my projects, and all the drug dealers, all the what, the popping people.
Yeah,
that's where they hung out right in front of my building.
Okay.
So, being that I was a young kid, man, they just took a liking to me automatically, threw the dice in my hand and started betting on my hand.
You had that.
I had that hot hand.
You had that hot hand.
Beginner's luck,
Yeah, that's what
They
happened.
taught me that CeeLo, and that was the beginning. My brother starting to earn a living on my own outside of my parents. Once I saw that really opened my eyes, man.
So then you went from that. You went to what else?
So once I learned that I could make money outside of my parents and with the older guys in the block, my neighborhood is predominantly Bloods, during that time. So naturally, I fell right into that. 13 years old.
So you start getting involved with the gang.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That was the natural progression. They were the guys that was in charge. They had a lock on the drugs. They were the popular fashion. Everybody.
There was the ones outside that point.
Absolutely. So that was the law. I was definitely attracted to that.
Okay.
Once I learned that I could be violent, man, and people begin to revere me for those actions, that really went to my head, man, and just violent right after, man. Just
Yeah.
continue violence, you know.
Were you at like in any sort of like school and all that? I mean, you were having issues while you was in school, or you were
Funny
just
thing, man.
getting in trouble after school?
Funny thing, man. I was always really good academically, but again, you wasn't popular for being smart in school. That wasn't really a thing. That wasn't a thing. I began to be notarized. You know, people began to notice me and take me serious because they think that I was violent. So, you know, that I kind of like capitalized off that. I learned that I could be popular and people would like me. I would get a lot of attention. Again, I grew up in a five sibling household. I didn't get a lot of attention. You know what I mean?
Were
Being
you the
middle child.
oldest?
No, I was the middle,
Middle.
oldest boy, but the middle of the five.
Okay, I got you.
2 older brothers and 2 younger brothers. And I was right there in the middle.
So now you're involved with drugs. I mean, now you're involved with gangs. You got introduced to the gang. So you really outside.
Definitely out there, man. Again, that was my first criminal charge, gang assault. Me and my friends beefing with this individual actually over a girl. And we jumped this dude. He went, told his moms. Next day at school, police came and we were arrested.
Wow. You know, the cycle doesn't stop. It doesn't change. I hear this is like for centuries of happening where brothers get in trouble and get into all kind of altercations and kill each other over a girl. You know what I'm saying? This is something that young brothers out there got to take in mind that, you know, listen, man, you react and you try to hold your girl down, that she's your girl right there. But, you know, at that point, but once you go to jail, your girl's not going to be there. So,
See,
you know.
that's a lesson that, you know, at 13, I wasn't hip to that lesson as of yet. So right after the arrest, you know, naturally at 13 years old, they give you a slap on the wrist. As long as I was going to school, my parents didn't have like issues with me, you know, not coming home at that time. So it was a slap on the wrist, man. I got
Yeah, you was
probation.
doing the right thing in school, so you got around that.
Absolutely.
What they gave you,
They
probation?
gave me 12 months probation.
Shit, you really must have really did something to the kid or
Yeah,
something.
it was, you know, it was a bloody situation. You know,
I got
definitely
you.
not proud of that.
Yeah, of course.
We was young. We didn't have any guidance. You know, much like the young men of today.
No
Yeah,
education.
yeah, exactly. You know, overly exposed to violence. And you know, we were sensitized to that stuff. We thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And again, naturally, it began to progress. You know, I got deeper and deeper into the gangs. Began to sell drugs. Again, I grew up in a 2-parent household. My pops, he worked his ass off to provide for his family, but I noticed, you know, being amongst my friends, that just wasn't enough. You know, we always had new clothes, you know, the latest Nikes, but my close friend always had the newest Jordans, and that was the comparison. That's when I knew that, man, I'm poor. You know, my peoples, they could afford to get us new clothes, but they can't afford to get me the latest brands. And unfortunately, those are the things that I was attracted to. So I had to figure out, you know, ways to get it for myself. And that I did. Unfortunately, that I definitely did.
At 13.
At 13, my brother. I remember being introduced to selling weed. It was a friend of mine's, his older brother. He wasn't really in the streets, but he knew that I was popular in the streets. So he thought that he could be smart and give me some work and have me work for him because he couldn't get it off on his own. So I peeped that and I just deaded him on his work, and I took it from there. My people taught me how to, you know, save my money, buy more drugs, and that was always like the goal. The more drugs you
That was
have,
the
the
routine.
more money you have. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, at an early age, man, those are the things that was being drilled into
What
my
year we
mind.
talking about?
This is 2001, my brother. 2001. I was 13 years old, and that was my introduction to the Bloods.
Wow. Throughout the time, I mean, so now you got yourself caught up. You got probation for a year. Now what?
So again, it was a slap on the wrist. I continue, you know, the program as usual. Go to school, duck the law, don't get into any trouble. But that never works. As long as you living in, you live in the lifestyle of the streets, trouble is literally right around the corner. So after that arrest, and after I received probation, I probably was in compliance for probably about 4 months. Then I got a violation of probation.
Okay.
So I went inside of Sparford.
Wow, Sparford.
Yeah, man, that right there. See, I already had it in my mind that I wanted to be a tough guy. So no matter how afraid I was going to Sparford, and better believe I was very afraid. It was a very notorious place at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was afraid, but I tucked that fear right into my pockets, and I leveled up, went inside the house, and gangbanging again. I let it be known that what it is that I rep. There was some other guys that rep the same thing, and that was the beginning of the camaraderie that I've built with a lot of young people that also went from the school to prison pipeline. Those relationships were honed right there in Sparford, man.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, for those that don't know Sparford is a juvenile detention for young brothers and stuff like that. It was located in the Bronx. It's not there no more.
Yeah, they shut it down.
Yeah, they shut it down.
Yeah,
Now they got a whole
new
different
facilities now.
Yeah, I don't know the name of them, but they got them around in 3rd Avenue and all that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I served time in those as well, man. When I say I graduated from, the school to prison pipeline, it was literally a graduation from Sparford, literally from school to Sparford to Horizon, then Rikers Island.
Horizon is the new one.
That's the new one right
crazy.
there in the Bronx, my brother. Unfortunately, I served time in there as well.
And all for the same thing.
Yeah,
Violence,
just running the streets,
representing gang.
It was a natural progression, like literally, from gang assault to selling drugs. When I was 15, I got caught for selling drugs. Then later at 15, I got caught for having a gun. We were groomed to go to Broadway, develop relationships with certain connects, and then when things get thick, we used to rob the connects. On one of those robberies that I was going on, car got pulled over and they found the Mac 10 in the car. I was 15 years old. I had 2 people with me. They were from out of town.
Who was driving?
2 older brothers.
Oh.
They were from out of town. Yeah, and
Wow.
they ended up bailing out. Being that I was a juvenile, I couldn't get bail, so
Right.
I ended up holding the charge. They bailed out and never came back to New York.
Shit.
So
and
I
you
ended
had to
up-
hold that.
Absolutely. So what they did was they just extended my probation. Another
Okay.
slap on the wrist. So this is why at such a young age, I didn't take crime and consequences as a serious thing. Every time I got in trouble, I got a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, you was like, oh shit.
And then in my gang, I was being more and more notorious for it. So that goes to your head as a young man, as a young kid. I wasn't a man. As a young boy.
As a young brother, yeah.
Absolutely, that went to my head, and unfortunately, man, at such a young age, man, I became notorious in the Bronx, and even in the juvenile system, and naturally, I graduated to Rikers Island after that gun case.
So after the gun case, you came out.
I came out. I did good for about.
You got probation for that.
They extended my probation, so they gave me like an extra 6 months, bro.
Wow.
Told me to go to like alternative high school. I followed those rules, but it was the allure of crime that kept me going back.
Yeah, you was caught up.
Yeah, I was.
You wasn't trying to
by
hear
15,
nothing, really?
To be honest, man, unfortunately, by 15, I can actually say I was a career criminal already. Already at 15.
Wow. And and like we all know, that shit ain't lead you nowhere.
Now, just imagine what it did to my family, man.
Of course, because your family go. I was just wondering, like, what your pops is telling you, like he's a hardworking man.
And that was the problem too, man. Because I was so addicted to the streets and so attracted to the things that was going on in the streets, me and my dad was always at odds. Here it is.
Yeah,
He's a hardworking man. He's never been arrested. He's doing everything in his power to provide for his family, to provide for his son, to set a positive example for his son, and it just wasn't connecting.
Yeah, you was like, Dad, this is not cutting it.
I just
You was
wasn't
involved in
attracted to it,
you
man.
was outside. You was already caught up in the street. you know, the gangs, the money. You know, you get lost. You're a young kid. You don't really have nobody. You don't want to hear. You don't want the last advice you trying to get is from your parents.
Yeah, they were squares. They
Yeah,
didn't
so
know
I'm
what I
saying,
was
so you
doing. They
definitely
didn't
go home and
understand.
be like, Dad, I'm a, you know. So that's not happening. So you know, it's only one way.
That's it, my brother.
And so now you on probation and you was on, and then you got what happened?
So
then?
during the juvenile probation, I'm still running the streets, and unfortunately, there was an incident that ensued, and another man lost his life. I happened to be there when it took place. The police knew I was present when it took place, and they arrested me. You know, they implemented me to the scene of the crime, and I fought it. I sat on Rikers Island for about 15 months.
And
I
how
went
was
to
that? How
trial.
was just sitting there your first time on Rikers Island when you went there, crossing that water and all, crossing the bridge? What was just going through your mind? I mean, like, you know, we all human. Like, how you felt?
To be honest, man, I was scared to death.
Yeah.
And again, it was just like that moment when I went to Sparford. I'm afraid. I'm going to a notorious place where the unthinkable happens on a day-to-day basis. But I remember taking that fear and tucking it into my pocket. I remember taking that fear, tucking it into my pocket, and making a conscious decision that, you know what? I'm not William Steele anymore. I'm going to be that notorious guy. And my former name is, you know, Gangster Chow. A lot of people abbreviated it, called me G Chow for short.
Okay.
But a lot of people know me as that person.
Okay.
And since I've been released, man, I literally buried that person, man.
Fact.
Buried
That's,
that
that's
person.
what's up, man.
I'm a firm believer that, you know, the names that we carry on has power, my brother. So
Yeah.
if I call myself murder, then subconsciously I'm gonna start embodying those characteristics, you know, and then eventually I'm gonna commit an act of murder because those are the things that I put into my mind. So if I call myself, you know, Money, I know a lot of brothers named Money, and naturally they take on the characteristics of chasing money.
Chasing money,
Right?
yeah.
Because that's the energy that they put out. So if I name myself, I give myself the name Powerful. I begin to educate myself, begin to, you know, read powerful books, and I begin to give off the energy of a powerful man. So, you know, names have power. So once I
Yeah,
realized
I get
that,
it.
my brother,
I get it because,
definitely
you
took
know,
that
like
and
my
tucked that.
name, you know, Pistol Pete, even if I want to bury or put it where you can look at it a different way, you will always get that look.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I get that look, you know, a lot of places, oh, that's Pistol Pete.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like, oh, they expect, oh, that's the guy right there.
Absolutely.
That's him. Now knowing that
Changed
you
your
know,
life.
that whole Pistol Pete has been on the
Absolutely.
shelf. You know what I mean? It's been quiet.
Real talk.
You know what I mean? But so now you in jail for a body. You on the island again.
So yeah, I remember making that conscious decision that I'm no longer gonna be William Steele. I'm no longer gonna be
Yeah.
the person. I gotta transfer into the savage being. And unfortunately, man, my whole time on Rikers Island as an adolescent, you know, during that time, you know, from 16 to 18, that time period, if you're incarcerated on Rikers Island, they put you on the ARDC, and they had a notorious nickname, Adolescents at War. And unfortunately, man, because I was a career criminal already, I thrived in that environment.
That's
man.
crazy, yeah.
I thrived in it. And when I think about it now, man, I'd be so like devastated that I was able to transform into that sort of being, you know? And yeah, I'm really, really ashamed of that, you know?
I mean, you know, we all have our shames and shit. You know, but we ain't perfect, and this transformation is even better. It's greater. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, even though you wasn't right at that moment, you gotta understand you was a young brother. You ain't get no you ain't had no education. You running around the streets. You down with gangs. You know what I'm saying? You don't have nobody in your ear positively that can tell you, hey, what you doing? Grab you by your neck and my man. Fuck you doing? You about to lose your whole life, man, fucking with this shit. So, you know, I mean, only a matter of time, you're going to crash.
Absolutely. And
You know what
that's
I'm saying?
exactly what I did, my brother. I sat on Rikers Island and I just crashed out.
So
But
you was on
one
the island how
positive
long?
thing, I sat on Rikers Island during that time for about 15 months. And while I was fighting that murder case, if you remember, I was still on probation for the juvenile
Yeah,
case.
yeah.
So,
And for the gun.
and exactly. So I owed DFY some time. So as I sat on Rikers Island, excuse me, I went to court, went to trial, and we were acquitted, myself and my co-defendant.
Wow.
Yeah, we were acquitted. And because I owed juvenile time, they came and got me the next day. So I didn't go home from that incident.
Yeah, for that incident.
And to be honest, man, me not going home right then and there with all the velocity that I had in my heart, that was probably one of the best decisions. Because I went to DFY. Actually, it wasn't called DFY. It was called Office of Children and Family Services, OCFS. So I went to their custody, and I got an opportunity to really like decompress, to take all the trauma of Rikers Island, all the things that I've engaged in, all the negativity, and they removed me from that environment, which is a madhouse, and they put me in a juvenile facility where I could be a kid. I could literally be a kid. I didn't have to be gangster child. I didn't have to be G child. I could actually take a breath and say, I'm William again. And I ended up spending another 8 months in that juvenile facility, but it prepared me to go home, right? So I already had my GED while I was on Rikers Island. My brother had helped me obtain that. I remember struggling with my math. I believe I failed it the first time. And then I recruited a brother, and he helped me with my math, get myself together, sharpen my tools, and I went on to take the GED, and I passed it.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
Absolutely, my brother.
And you had a brother that came through.
Shout out to the brother Charlie B, Charlie Brim, man. He definitely helped me.
Yeah,
get
Charlie
my
B. Shout out to Charlie B,
helped me
man.
get my GED.
That's
man.
what it's about, man.
Absolutely.
Education.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's good. So you came and he helped you out, and you got your GED.
So I always knew that I wanted to do something positive with my life, but I was just so enthralled in, this street lifestyle. I was so invested in it. I felt like I got so much return out of it, but the return wasn't the return that I actually wanted. It wasn't the return that I needed in my life.
Right.
So yeah, I ended up doing an additional 8 months after I got acquitted for that crime, and it prepared me to come home. So when I did come home in 2006, after being acquitted for that crime, I went to college. I got a job, but unfortunately, man, I still was gangbanging.
Okay.
I still had one foot.
You
in
was
the street.
trying.
I tried.
You just had that.
It was
one
in
foot.
my heart.
Yeah.
But also my responsibility to my homies. That too was in my heart.
Yeah. Your loyalty and all that. I understand.
For sure. And again, I crashed, man. So my advice to anybody that's listening, man, if you feel conflicted, if you want to do something better, surround yourself with better, right? Do that first. And if you think that you can play both sides of the fence, I promise you, my brother, I promise you, my sister, whoever's listening, it never turns out good. And I can personally attest to that. Because after being acquitted, after going to college, and
after getting that break and coming, and you beat a body, now you coming home.
At 18 years old, I felt like I was invincible, bro.
Yeah, at that point, you like, shh.
It's not. They can't touch me, Mr. Untouchable. You know that negative train of thought, that stinking thinking, man. And another incident occurred. This time, it resulted in attempted murder. And I went to trial again. I sat on Rikers Island for 3 years this time fighting this case. And I blew trial to all 7 counts, my brother.
Wow.
And I ended up being sentenced to 17 years, my first felony conviction. 17 years.
17 years. Then it got real.
Oh, it got real.
Now, what your mom's is saying, what your pops,
man.
like, they going through it too. Like, and you're not by yourself. You got a loving family, got your pops that works hard, your mom's is home. You know what I mean? You got siblings and all that. Like,
so as I'm going in and out of jail, man, my family, they going through these trials and tribulations right alongside me.
Of course.
The beautiful thing is that, they never turned their back on me. They always encouraged me. And even while I was going through all these trials and error, man, my family, everybody's lives were getting better. My mom got a job. My pops got a raise. My younger brother, he's doing well in school. But then, excuse me. But then here I go again with my bullshit. I get rearrested, and I'm the black sheep of the family. So
what you got arrested for now? After
that was the attempt murder case.
Oh yeah, attempt murders is hard to fucking beat.
Yeah, that was I was able to fortunately, someone did lose their life, unfortunately, but the fortunate part was that I wasn't the person that committed that crime, so justice was served. The truth prevailed.
Yeah.
And that doesn't always happen in the criminal justice system. And here we go again. I reoffend, and this time I was guilty. This time I was guilty, and I paid the price. I thought that I could go to trial. I thought that I could lie. I thought that I could spin the truth.
Yeah.
Manipulate people. I thought all those
You
things.
thought you was gonna spin it off.
Of course.
Like you've been doing it.
I've been getting over.
As a young man, that's just their mindset.
Absolutely.
That's what I tell these brothers out there now. These brothers' mindset be like, yeah, I'm getting over. I got over with this. I got over with that. You're not getting over with shit. That shit all gonna catch up with you, man. All that shit is just gonna creep back up, and you're gonna pay for that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And then
So true.
The problem is that it's not just yourself. If you got like loved ones like you had, your moms, your dad, you put them to it. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing it yourself. We so selfish at that age that we don't care who we hurting. You know what I'm saying? And that's the sad part as well. You know what I'm saying? Because our parents, our siblings, they suffer too. They going through the motions. They don't want their kids in jail.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So here you go again. You blew trial. Now you got 17 years.
17 years. I was 22 years old. So I was 19 when I got rearrested. Sat on that island for 3 years. And I was about 22 when I got sentenced.
Okay.
And I remember, so when you get sentenced after you blow trial, and after you go back to Rikers Island, eventually they send you to reception. You go up north. They send you to downstate correctional facility. While you're at downstate correctional facility, naturally you see your counselor, and your counselor tells you all the needs. By needs, these are things that you have to do in order to get home. So they tell you the things that you have to do, and then they give you your time computation. Now that's a sheet of paper that tells you when you're eligible to go home. And I remember looking at that date. The current date was 2010, and I remember looking at my conditional release date, and it said 2021. And here it is. I'm 22 years old, and I'm just like, damn, how the hell am I gonna do all this time?
Yeah.
And while I did that bit, so.
Oh, you did that bit.
Oh, this one.
You got it done.
This was the one, my brother.
Yeah.
I remember, during my other stages of incarceration, I always had incredible family support. So in a way, I could say that they even enabled me. I could say that because whenever something bad happened, they were there to rescue me.
Yeah,
they were there to be my safety net.
Yeah.
They were there to,
hold you down.
Always hold me down.
I got you.
So when I remember, I actually got sentenced on my father's birthday. And if you know anything about, if you blow trial and you being sentenced, they sentence you individually for each charge, right? And they use all of these terms, these legal terms that a layman, someone who's not familiar with this process, they're not going to understand the words that's being used. So they use words like concurrent or consecutive, right?
Right.
So as they're sentencing me to all 7 counts, robbery in the second, 10 years, assault in the first, 12 years. They just going down. And I look back and I see my dad, and I could see him like adding the numbers up. He didn't understand concurrent. He didn't know what
Yeah,
that
yeah.
meant. I understood what was happening, but I could see the confusion in
Yeah,
his
he
face.
was out there like, huh?
You know, the numbers added up to like 35 years.
Yeah.
And here it is. This is his birthday.
Wow.
So, you know, according to him, he's losing his son on his birthday. So even to this day, my dad really don't celebrate his birthday.
Wow.
So I end up doing I end up getting sentenced to 17 years, and during that time, man, I could say that my family took a step back, you know, to support me a different way. You know, I'm gonna make you feel it this time.
This time you had to man up.
Yeah, this time I'm not gonna hold your hand through this. You're gonna be responsible this time, and that's exactly what took place. And so as I was serving that sentence, my younger brother, he's now coming up in the ranks, and naturally he's taking my name. You know, people's calling him Little This, and that's going to his head. So now he's an active gang member. So now I hear the trials and tribulations that he's going through.
Right.
And I couldn't be there to support him. I couldn't be there to guide him. And I could say that my little brother went through things that I've never gone through.
Wow.
And my walk in the gang life, I could say that, you know, the people that I surround myself with, we were apex predators, unfortunately, right? And times has changed.
Yeah.
Great. But I could say the trials and tribulations that my brother was going through, I could not relate to the things that he was going through. So it was like killing me on the inside that I couldn't be there for him, that I couldn't give him guidance. I couldn't take his pain away. I couldn't tell him to stop.
It's your brother, of course.
I couldn't do any of those things. So another incident occurred. So while I'm in prison during this time, man, I really took the time to make a decision on what's important and what's not important, right? I began to mature in ways that I saw that my community wasn't maturing in the same way. So I started seeing a separation coming, where my mindset is elevating and theirs aren't. So now I see that I'm gonna have to make a decision. If I'm gonna stay a part of this, then I know that I'll be continuing. I'll be stamping the foolery that they're engaged in.
Right.
And again, here it is. I'm maturing, and I want more for my life. So I begin to be around more positive people who are, you know, they doing motivational speaking.
They was on a whole different path.
Right, they trying to better. They building
different
themselves.
path.
Right.
That's
so
all. Yeah.
I started to be attracted to that sort of thing rather
Cool.
than
Good shit.
the stuff that's going on in the yard.
Right.
So that's when I began to see that my mind is changing, my community's changing. It's time to make a decision.
That bring you any kind of issues while you was incarcerated? Meaning like that you decided you go a different path and you was, you gang?
So I believe for the average person that would be in the same dilemma that I was in, I think that their path would be very different from mine's.
Okay.
And I can say that because I grew up in the system, and from Sparford, from the jail to prison pipeline, because I grew up in that system, because I've become notorious in that system, a lot of people know me, right? And because a lot of people know me, I have great relationships with people. And I was able to leverage those relationships. So when I began to change, those same individuals saw the change as well, and they loved it.
Okay.
Secretly, they want to change too.
Right. Yeah,
Secretly,
of course.
they want to change,
Of
but
course.
they're holding on to, their reputations.
Right.
So when they saw what I was doing, they encouraged it. They encouraged it. They supported it. So
Look, that's cool.
my retirement was, people, they gave me their blessings.
Yeah, they gave
because
you
I
the
was a notorious person, because I have great relationships with a lot of other notorious people.
Yeah, if they felt like you put enough work, so it turned out to be different for you.
And also, they see that I'm able to encourage other people to take a different path as well, and they encourage that as well.
Yeah, that's good. And that's how it should be.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you shouldn't be I don't think you should ever be forced to be down with a gang or anything. I think
Nothing
that's.
good gonna
I think because I mean, I wouldn't want to put you
hold
down with
somebody
my
hostage,
gang
right?
if
If your heart isn't in it,
if it's
right?
not in it. Yeah, if it's not
course,
in your
something-
heart,
something bad is gonna
then
happen.
it's not. It ain't
Clearly.
genuine. At the end of the day, you're gonna end up either crashing out on me or crashing on, or you're just not working out.
It's gonna go bad for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, you was able to. So, you was able to do that transition. You started fading away in regards to the gang. You started dealing with more positivity and other brothers that was getting they right. They was getting to it.
Absolutely. So while I began to change and make those positive changes in my life, I started seeing that my little brother was going through. He was going through some serious hardships when it comes to the gangster lifestyle, right? This gang banging lifestyle. So much so that it was an incident that took place in my projects. A big melee. A lot of people were arrested after. Some people got away. So I believe it was a Saturday night, right? So everybody's in the bookings or whatever, right?
Right.
So the people that didn't get arrested, that next morning, Sunday morning, an individual knocked on my mother's door, and they said, "Excuse me, miss, are you such and such mom?" My mother said, "Yes, I am." And that individual cut my mother across the face as a direct result of what just took place, the melee that took place in the projects with
With your brother?
Yeah, my younger brother was involved in that melee, and as a result, in retaliation, someone went to my mother's house and assaulted my mom's.
Man.
So I remember being up north, calling home and finding out, getting the news. And I just remember being really, really angry. And I also remember thinking to myself, like, what's next? How do I respond to this? And I remember thinking to myself, damn, how selfish am I right now that I'm making it about myself? My mother just got cut. How is she doing? So I set up a visit. My mom came to visit me. Still has staples on her face. And the first thing my mom said was, she said, "Don't murder anybody when you come home." That's the first thing she said. Now, I didn't say nothing. I just listened for a minute. I just received it, processed it. And I started thinking to myself, as a person who's done time, as a person who is a repeat offender,
Yeah.
there's language amongst people who are repeat offenders. One thing we say to ourselves, the moment we get released, I'm never coming back. That's
Facts.
first, right? But then we give ourselves an excuse. We tell ourselves, the only way I'm coming back if somebody does something to my family.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's like a universal
Statement.
go to jail and you good card. Like,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's a universal
That's like no problem.
no
Let's
problem,
go
go to jail. Like I'm
Yeah.
not mad at you if you go to jail for that. Like
Yeah.
that's universal for
'Cause you was-
people
yeah,
who
just for your
the
family.
sickness that's a sick way to think, though, right? Like universally, a lot of people that's a reoffender, they have that mindset. So I remember thinking to myself, like, I'm justified if I want to act on this, right? But then the brilliance of my mom kicked in. She took that away from me immediately. That would have been an excuse to do something foolish.
Yeah, of course.
I could go home after doing all this time, all this great work that I've been pouring into myself. I could go home and throw all that shit away because of my ego, right? Because it is an ego thing.
Yeah, when this happened to your mother, were you in jail? Like
I was in prison.
No, I'm just saying, but you still had a lot of time left?
Absolutely. I had about 6 years left.
Okay.
I had 6 years left.
Yeah, so you was in there living with that. All kind of shit going through your mind, I mean, you're not there to find out, to help, to do anything.
Yeah, but my mother, she gave me something beautiful that day, though, man. She gave me the freedom to choose that day.
Yeah, she gave you the peace to.
Absolutely.
That's peace. Your mom's telling you, yo, don't worry about that, man. Let's keep moving.
What she gave me more than anything was like, I'm not gonna be the excuse. I'm not gonna be your excuse to do something stupid. So you can't never do something and say I did that for my mother. That's what she did. She took that away from me.
Okay.
She took that away.
I mean, you know,
And that was brilliant.
That
was brilliant.
It was great because you know that's all you wanted.
That's what a mother's for.
That's what your moms want anyway. Absolutely. She don't want her son to get caught up. You already been in jail your whole life. You know, so I mean, imagine.
Yeah, even being released, man, that's always been something that I struggle with, even to this day.
Yeah.
You know.
So you never got to find out who did it.
No, there's whispers of who did it. You know, the streets.
Oh yeah.
Naturally.
No concrete.
Nah, but you know what though, bro? Here's more. To me, the most important piece is forgiveness.
Yeah, of course.
That's the most important.
You know, it just. I only said that for the sense of, you knowing like, oh yeah, it was, just to know.
Naturally, you want to do this, man. Naturally.
Yeah.
That's second nature to me. I got.
No, that's just that's not even. It's in your blood. It brings the animal out of you.
Exactly.
Of course.
So it takes a lot to restrain, and that's what I've been doing, man. And it's beautiful, brother. It's beautiful.
Yeah, you put that all behind you anyway.
Coming home, man.
She's okay.
She's beautiful.
That's
you
what I'm
can't
saying.
see nothing on her face. She's
okay.
alive.
There you go.
God is good.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what matters. So it turned out great.
It turned out incredible, man.
You know what I'm saying? Rather than, It
gets even happier, my brother. It gets even happier. So since I've been home, I've really been involved in this community work. First thing I did was...
So you've been home how long?
I've been home since 2021.
Okay.
December 2nd, 2021.
Okay.
So almost 4 years.
What you been doing since?
Since I've been home, my brother, I've been working, man, changing lives, man, restoring hope with our young people. I took a job with Exodus Transitional Community. I don't know if you're familiar with that. They do great work all throughout New York City, but they're stationed in East Harlem, right? And I told you while I was inside, I began to do like public speaking and motivational speaking, working on my craft. So when I came home, I was afforded the opportunity to become a facilitator. And as a facilitator, we used to teach young people inside of an alternative to incarceration program. So I don't know, for those who are not familiar with diversion, alternative to incarceration is a way to not go to jail, man. So you might have a person who he never been in trouble before, and unfortunately something took place, right? And because he's never been in trouble before, because this person has a job, has family support, maybe it wouldn't be a good idea to remove this person from his family. Maybe it'd be a better idea to put them in alternative to incarceration, right? So instead of going to jail, they would sentence an individual to a program for approximately a year or 18 months. And during that year or 18 months, people like myself would be running programs for them to pretty much like workshops to change the way that they criminal
the narrative.
Yeah, change, to provide some sort of enrichment to change their lives, right?
Some sort of hope.
Absolutely. So that's what I did for the first 2 years of my freedom, and during that,
that was a good get back.
Absolutely, man. Since I've been working with alternative to incarceration, it actually opened up many working relationships with the district attorney's office, with judges. So now I have district attorneys who, whenever they get a young person or an individual that they believe shouldn't go to jail, they send them directly to me. They refer them to my program.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's super dope.
That's pretty
man.
good. And I think you're the perfect guy.
Thank you, man. Really changing the
You can't have somebody else. You're the perfect guy. You went through it. You had your transformation. You went through some shit, man. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? You could relate gang. You could relate everything because you've been
Absolutely. And that's what it's about, man. Turning your pain into your passion.
Yeah. That's what I do. I'm do the same thing too, my brother. I'm going to Rikers Island.
The work
I go to the penitentiary up north. Shawanga.
Yeah,
I
I go to
did,
Shawanga as well.
Grehaven. I interviewed people. I even brought dog in the yard. Bring it to these
Straight to the yard.
To the yard. But I have interviewed guys like listen, man, we live in a different time.
Absolutely.
Brothers just trying to come home. Dudes is not wilding. I don't know what they think. It's nothing in jail. Nothing going on in jail. Nothing. You get a tablet now. You go to your room, and that's it. And you get to speak with your tablet for 20 years, 25. It's just not it.
Yeah, they want people to be content inside
Yeah,
the system.
you know what I'm saying. So
we're not having that.
it's a great thing. I love what you do. I love that's definitely like perfect job for you. You know what I'm saying? And you're doing a great job with it.
And that was just the beginning, my brother.
man.
Thank you, man. That was just the beginning. So I started with the alternative to incarceration, and then we moved on to I got a promotion to violence interruption.
Okay.
And that was really my passion, considering I got this gang background.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people in that way.
In that field.
And since I've been working that field, man, the gun violence has decreased.
Wow.
Tremendously in East Harlem, and it's a direct impact on the work that we do. So we were doing violence interruption for about 2 years, and then unfortunately, when President Trump came into office, he cut the Department of Justice, he cut their budget, which in turn they deaded our program. So we were no longer funded.
Okay.
So we all lost our jobs. My whole department, it was probably about 5 of us, and instead of, just stopping the work and taking our resume and going somewhere else, we decided that we're going to continue working with the people that we've always worked with, the participants. We're still responsible to them. A lot of them were court mandated. So what do we do under those circumstances? Do you just don't show up? Do you just allow the young people to go to jail because they're not having programming because President Trump decided not to fund us? Now, instead, we continue to work. We showed up every single day, and we started our own not-for-profit organization.
That's what's up.
That's what we did, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah, the name
That's
of the
what you do. You take charge.
That's what we do, my brother. We create a way, man. There's no excuse. We're gonna
you did it when your mind set when your mindset wasn't there. When you was out there in the gutter, you know what I'm saying, involving all kind of bullshit, you was pretty successful doing that.
Absolutely.
So you could be even more successful doing
sir.
something positive.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
With great energy. You know what I'm
sir.
saying?
Thank you so much, man, for this
So,
platform.
no, of course.
To talk about this. Man.
This is what it's for. I always say this platform is here for you guys. Like, this is what we do. We never had a voice. Now we have a voice.
Yes,
and this is the
really
platform to be able to give us that voice. So not only we getting it off our chest at the same time and we building, but we be able to show these brothers out there, any sisters out there that, that shit don't add to anything.
Real talk.
But just jail time, suffering, away forever, no family, no woman, no kids, it's not what you want, guys. You know what I mean? It's always a different way.
Absolutely.
It's always a different way.
And you know what? If you don't know the way, our job is to provide a way for you, man.
Facts.
That's our job, man, to show you, to expose you to different things. That's what me and the brothers here.
That's right. That's right.
That's what we do at Myra's Kids, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
Absolutely.
We service the whole New York City. We just got an office in Mount Vernon in Westchester County.
Look at that, man.
So we working, man. We working on a new office in the Bronx and Throggs Neck
All the blessings coming.
Or we working with organizations in Yonkers, 914.
Okay.
Shout out to the brother Jonathan.
Jonathan. Shout out to the whole
Shout out to
914 crew. Yonkers, what's up?
Shout out to RAB Rab. They doing their thing out in Ossining. That's a before and after school program. The YMCA, they doing their thing in Yonkers. So many services, man. We out here for the people. We got people like myself, man. Like I said, we lost funding to our program. And instead of going out and getting another job, we just continue to work. Right now, my whole team is working for free, brother.
Wow.
We operating out of pocket. Operating out of pocket, my brother. The work continues. We're actively looking for funding.
It's going to change. It's going to get right.
Of course. Everything is happening.
You just got to stay with the focus.
The work, brother. That's what's important.
That's what's
Saving
important.
these young people, and that's what we do.
You're going to get the bread. All that's all that's going to come.
Yes, sir.
You just got to stay in your lane and just continue to save lives.
Absolutely, my brother.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted to ask you about how you feel about prison reform.
So, naturally, man, prison reform. I spent a large majority of my life in these institutions, and I can't say that the prison helped me with anything. It was always guys like myself, guys like you, that band together and decided we want more for ourselves, so we're gonna provide more programming for ourselves. I feel like if Department of Corrections can allow more people, more credible messages, right? People who've actually done time and went home and made positive transitions. Allow us in the facilities, man. I believe that we can inspire hope, and then that's gonna naturally drop the recidivism rate. It's people like us that show them you can be successful.
Absolutely.
You can be successful.
Absolutely.
It's attainable.
Yeah, and I just got myself. I've been dealing with organization. It's called Academy of Hope.
Okay.
It's new. With, I don't know if you ever heard of Andre Norman.
Of course.
So Andre Norman started that. So I'm a part of Andre Norman. It's like 9 of us, and the job is amazing, man. The work that we do. I never thought in my life, brother, that I will ever go and have that kind of impact on brothers. When I go back to the prison system, the jail system on Rikers Island, up north, the people's like, wow, Pete, like, whoa, you there? And you back in here and I'm like, yeah, man, like if and the back of my shirt, my dog in the yard outfit, I got in big letters, gangsters change too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it's like,
I think it's important that they see themselves in us, man.
yeah, like, don't be ashamed.
Absolutely,
what I'm saying, like,
bro.
gangsters change too. You know what I'm saying? Don't never be ashamed because, and you more gangster when you decide to be more responsible, that's gangster.
Changing the narrative, my brother, that's gangster.
Yeah.
I mean, when people look at you in a whole different light, that's gangster.
Yeah, so prison reform is something that we always, will always want. You know what I mean? Because like you said, you go to jail, it's nothing there to really reform you. It's nothing. You got to be able to reform yourself.
You have to, man.
You got to, and and that's just the way it goes. The prison system. Well, at least here in America, it's just set you up. They get you comfortable, and that's it. If you leave it up to the system, then you get lost.
Yeah, you gotta play an active role in making a difference in your life. You have to be active. If you rely on the system or parole to put you in a successful place, it's just not gonna happen. The system isn't set up that way. It's set up so you can continue to reoffend. That's what it's set up for. So if we could put a system in place that prevents that from happening, and I think that's what we're doing. I think we put our own system in place.
Of course, yeah.
I think that we changed.
We taking charge.
Absolutely.
We have to.
I remember people used to say, yo, when my man come home, I'm gonna put him on, and that meant to give you drugs and guns and put you back in the same position.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
I think what you doing,
That's
my
crazy.
brother, what we're doing today,
Yeah.
we're changing the definition of putting our people on.
Yeah, putting our people on, of
so
course.
While they're incarcerated, and as long as they qualify themselves, go get your education, work on your language and how you present yourself.
Absolutely.
And then you come home and we got opportunities for you. I promise you, Myra's kids, we got you.
That's right.
We got you.
There you go. So, listen, man. What you're doing, man, is I mean, you can't make it up. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's organic and it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? I just know that the platform is here for you guys. Like any given time, you and your guys need to promote something that has to do with anything that has to do with the program or anything.
Brother, I appreciate
just
you,
know
man.
that, bro.
I appreciate
You know what I'm saying?
so much, man.
And with that, man, I want to ask you one thing about what's one of the worst things you've seen in prison, man? That stood in your mind like, wow. Give these guys something that they could think about, man.
The worst thing I've seen in prison is how fast that we transgress against each other. I've seen incidents where, an incarcerated individual would say something that another incarcerated individual may deem disrespectful, and on just that one encounter, that result in physical violence. But I've seen countless times where an officer will say those same demeaning words and nothing would happen, right? So I think the worst thing about prison is the division. I think if we could decide that, listen, we're people, man. You look
Facts.
just like me. I look just like you. Your family background is similar to mine.
That's right.
We could pull together, and we could come up with a real effective plan on never to come back to prison. Let's put these systems in place. I think if we work together, we could do that. So I think that's the worst thing about prison, the lack of unity.
I get it, and you 1,000,000% about that. 'Cause that's to this day, that's always been a big problem in jail.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like be violent towards officers or nothing like that.
No,
I'm saying
yeah.
be united, man. Stop
Be united.
transgression against
Support
each other.
each other.
Yeah, support each other.
Instead of fighting because this guy is from 3rd Avenue and I'm from Williams Avenue.
Exactly.
I don't know what that means because
Or he's Hispanic and I'm black.
Yeah, that shit is the craziest shit in the world, man. I mean, ignorance is always going to be around.
Absolutely.
So it's our job, to
Expose
enlighten
that
you.
shit.
You know what I'm saying? To let you know that it don't make no sense for you to fight in anything that has to do with color because you a part of that.
Don't talk.
So, you know what I mean? That's very ignorant, man. You know what I mean? And a lot of us definitely get caught up with that, especially as young men, with no education. So
Don't talk. So further your education, whether it's academically
Facts.
or just information. Information is power, man.
Will Steele, man, appreciate you, man.
Dogs in the
You hear me?
yard.
Dog in the yard, you already know, man. Still keep doing your thing.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate having you, man. Just know the platform is here for you. And any given time you guys ready to come up here, you already know we here.
Appreciate you.
And with
King.
that being said, you already know it's your boy Pistol Pete, Dog in the Yard. What up? You already know what it is. Your boy Pistol Pete. Welcome back to Dog in the Yard. First and foremost, I want to thank Will Steele for coming through. Appreciate having you, my brother. I love your mindset, your transition. I mean, it's inspiring. Keep doing your thing. I love what you do. We on the same journey, which is to improve and enlighten the youth. And I love everything you're doing, man. And we're here to support you. Like I said, any given time that you want to come back, you're more than welcome, my brother. Keep doing greatness and keep changing lives. That's what it's about. It's your boy Pistol Pete, Dog in the Yard.